Hey class, it is week 9 and it is time to start wrapping things up. So we have a 2-week unit where we are going to be reading When Stars Are Scattered, which is a graphic novel. It's technically nonfiction, which is a genre that we haven't dealt with yet. So honestly, it worked out rather well, where this is such a good culminating book for us. You can apply all of the things that you've learned about the literary elements and also the visual elements. There are illustrations on every page. The diversity unit comes into play here, as well as the controversial issues, being that this is a refugee story and it includes some rather mature and challenging emotional concepts. I think it's going to be a really interesting final book to read and a good experience for those of you who haven't fully encountered a graphic novel or maybe even a refugee autobiography. So really cool elements of complexity for us to end the quarter on. As a goal, I want you to reach page 158 this week. That is, per the book's format, that is chapters 1 through 10. And then we'll read the rest of the book next week. And then an overview of what you'll be doing alongside that is I want you to read chapter 10 in Russell's textbook. It's about the nonfiction genre. You shouldn't have to read too deeply. There are some really important relevant sections like about autobiography and biographical types of nonfiction. I just want you to read this well enough to be able to reference a few ideas from it when you discuss When Stars Are Scattered. Then next week, you'll be doing a bigger project. So you'll have finished When Stars Are Scattered, and you'll have a chance to read chapter 3 in Russell's textbook. The name of that chapter is Experiencing Literature, Reading, Writing, Talking, and Doing. I know that not all of you are going on to be teachers, and not all of you will end up being parents, perhaps. So you might have to put yourself in an imaginative scenario for this final project. Maybe you'll have to pretend like you were going to have a book club in your living room, or like you're going to show up and help with your nieces and nephews and lead them through a book study. Be thinking about that. Well, here, let me put it this way. Throughout most of this quarter, we've been working on diversifying our horizons in terms of the types of children's literature that is available for both child readers and adult readers who find children's literature enjoyable to consume. We've been looking at what makes literature quality on both the literary and the visual ends of the spectrum. But it's one thing to say, like, this is a good book. It diversifies my bookshelf. It broadens horizons. And it's another thing to present that quality literature to an audience in a way that helps them to experience all of that quality. So this final project is also tied to a final learning outcome for the course. Let me pull that up and just share it with you guys verbally. But it's the idea of engaging children with literature, or like I said, it can be really any audience. This final project's purposes. So it's the last learning outcome, the one that we haven't done yet. Develop effective methods for engaging children with literary material. So I'm not going to post all the details for that project quite yet, but this should be enough to get your gears turning. You're going to be the teacher, and you are going to present learning activities related to When Stars Are Scattered as if you were facilitating that book in a book club in your living room, in a classroom, in a homeschool situation, at home at the dinner table with a child, your child, I don't know, with a friend that just, you guys want to learn about the refugee experience more. It doesn't matter to me, but start envisioning that and know that project is coming. Some of you didn't have conferences with me yet. I am planning on how you could maybe make those up. And one last thing, just 1 second, I'm going to start, but I want to give you some tips on how to get into When Stars Are Scattered. All right, you guys, I'm so sorry about that. Let's try this again. It's evening and I think I've got my technology sorted out. So what I wanted to show you is that when you're reading Stars Are Scattered, and you open it up, make sure you don't miss what is actually the first page, which is this box right here. And it says, "For me, the first years are lost. and then it jumps right in on the second page here with our first image spread. And you can start reading the comic from left to right and top to bottom. Although, like a picture book, you also want to take time to kind of scan the whole image and just take it all in. But generally, left to right and then moving top to bottom. Now, contextually, it'll help you because the story just jumps right in. If you flip to the very back of the book and look for the section where there are these real-life images of the author / main character and his brother, and if you don't want any spoilers, do not read the afterword. There are slight spoilers even in what I'm going to show you, but, so the afterword is 2 pages. Now, to get kind of the general setup of where we are for the story, I would read the author's note by Omar. And then I would also encourage you to read the author's note by Victoria. You could also just Google search the book. But I think these 4 or 5 pages and even this back spread will give you, like I said, the context that you need to start reading from page 1 and fully understand. Okay, so enjoy. Like I said, you know what you need to read and kind of generally what you need to be thinking about. There won't be specific questions or anything. So just check out or be looking out for that discussion to come live very soon. And then I'll get the project details that are due by the end of next week posted, like I said, really soon. I'm working out some last minute details to make sure there's enough room in it, enough flexibility for the uniqueness of you guys to be your needs to be met by the assignment. Let me know if you have any questions.